I read 23 books in 2023, and I'm going to share with you the only books you need if you want your life to go from this to this. Well, not quite. This year was a big year for me. I read 23 books, and it's taken some time to enjoy reading again. I read on my phone, so it can be quite hard to avoid distractions. I loved reading as a kid, but when I reached high school, my love of reading and my desire to even read, that completely went out the window. And I mean, Snapchat, Instagram, they were a bit more fun than reading, to be fair. I took some time to think about it, and I wondered why I didn't enjoy reading anymore. It's because we had to read shit books. Ain't no way any of you enjoyed Of Mice and Men. But I digress. This year I've read more books than I've ever read before, and I even started another 10 or 15 books, but I decided not to finish them because, quite frankly, they were mid. This was a big shift for me. In the past, I've pushed through some terrible books, almost torturing myself to finish the books. I had this preconceived notion that any book you started, you had to finish. Taking that pressure away from finishing a book made reading so much more enjoyable. I could just get rid of the book. Like, I don't owe these authors shit. Just because they wrote the book doesn't mean I have to read it. Someone else can read it. It doesn't have to be me. So with that being said, let's get into my top books of 2023. The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. A book that hit me in such a way I didn't expect. I found the book was extremely easy to read and very short as well, and it actually inspired me quite a lot. I was highlighting just about everything on just about all the pages. So a little context, the book is broken down into 3 parts. The first is defining the enemy. The second part is what Pressfield defines as turning pro. And finally, the third part delves into the higher realm and the spiritual and transcendent aspects of creativity. I won't spend any time on the third part. It was mainly the defining of resistance or the enemy and the turning pro aspects that had quite an impact on myself. More broadly, he speaks that this self-sabotage and resistance stops you from achieving pretty much everything in your life. This resistance manifests itself in procrastination, self-doubt, fear, and any form of avoidance that hinders the creative process. In line with this, I found the turning pro aspect to be incredibly moving. He argues that you have to treat the creative process with a professional attitude. And he described that as, committing to your work, putting in the necessary effort and discipline, regardless of your inspiration or mood. And I think everyone is capable of that. We're able to go to jobs we don't enjoy. We're able to do a lot of things we don't love. But when it comes to our dreams, we put that on the back burner. He constantly reiterates the idea of following your dreams. Stop talking about it, stop planning, stop procrastinating.
Do it! Just do it!
He states that the professional reminds himself that it's better to be in the arena getting stomped by the bull than to be up in the stands or out in the parking lot. I highly recommend this book to anyone with a dream or a passion and they just haven't taken the leap yet. Identify what is holding you back, eliminate that from your life, and go and achieve it. So, The 4-Hour Workweek, a truly brilliant book. In my opinion, it's a must-read for everyone. It is a hard-hitting book which challenges the traditional notions of work, lifestyle, and retirement. It questions everything you know and have been taught. Ferriss demonstrates that by working smarter and, in fact, maybe not even harder, you can create a life for yourself that you could never even dream of. It demonstrates that this life is not as far out of reach as you could actually expect, and provides a refreshing, I think, eye-opening perspective. He introduces the concept of the new rich. Basically, someone that prioritizes time and mobility over money itself. He demonstrates the importance of lifestyle design, creating a life for yourself that prioritizes freedom and flexibility. One thing I really liked is that Ferriss consistently encourages the reader to go out and do this, like design and define what your ideal lifestyle is. It's one of the most interactive self-help or development books I've ever read, and I think that's what made it so valuable. Not only were the contents of the book so brilliant, but he also just practically gave you a step-by-step blueprint on how to improve your life. Oftentimes, these self-help books are a little more nuanced. You've got to try and find the meaning yourself. Well, Ferriss practically slaps you in the face and gives you the answers. A consistent theme throughout was like the importance of action. A quote from the book that really hit me was, "Someday is a disease that will take your dreams to the grave." I thought that was hauntingly beautiful, and it demonstrated the importance of acting now. He implores the reader to take control of their life and make their life work for them. The thing I appreciate most about this book, and what separates it from the rest of the self-help and development books I've read, is that it shares case studies and examples of people who have successfully implemented the principles of the book. Being able to see that people have done this, it almost makes you consider, if they can, why can't I? It's like no other book I've ever read, and I think anyone can learn from this, no matter who you are.
Hello there. Whilst I said I was only going to talk about 3 books today, there were some that were just itching at me that I had to bring up. So we're going to talk about some fiction. I know we've spent a lot of time today just talking about self-help and self-development, but what if you're not into all that bullshit? What if you want to just read some good old entertaining books? Well, I've got some for you.
Written by she who cannot be named, no, not her, J.K. Rowling, these books were brilliant. So for the first time in my life, I read the Harry Potter books this year. Holy fuck, they were so good. As a kid, I thought they were nerds, and as you can imagine, I was sick as fuck. In high school, my brother hounded me to read the books. I said, hell no, that shit way too long. And he conceded, he acknowledged that my goldfish ass brain probably wasn't going to read them. So he thought these stories are too good not to be told, that I may as well watch the movies, because he was sure I was never going to read the books. But thank God I have read them. These books were incredible. And I know I'm not the first person to notice this. There's a reason everyone knows who Harry Potter is. The moment I picked up the first book, I was just gripped. Like, I could not put the books down. I would have read all 7 in less than 2 months. I was reading a book a week, which for me is absolutely crazy. We'd go to bed, my girlfriend would fall asleep, I'd be rolled over, using my phone, trying not to get caught, as if I was, a child with my DS and the parents were about to knock on my bedroom. I was secretly reading. What the hell are we talking about? I was so addicted. I would stay up late. I would go, one more chapter. I'd read that chapter and I'd go, fuck, that was so good, I gotta read another. These are some of the most well-written books I've ever read. You can slam me in the comments and be like, you know nothing. I might know nothing, but these books hit different. I have never been addicted to a book before. All 7 of these books had me so engaged, so gripped. And, without them, I probably wouldn't be making this video. They reignited my love for reading. If you haven't read them, I hope they can do the same for you. So basically, they were my top books for 2023. I hope your 2024 is your best year yet. Actually, scrap that. I hope you make 2024 your best year yet. Don't delay it any further. Go follow your passion and make 2024 your best year yet.